Interstate 44. It's the longest interstate highway in Missouri and the second longest in Oklahoma by just 2 miles. Nearly all of it replaced the venerable Route 66. I-44 has some awesome stretches through downtown St. Louis and a couple other cities, but we'll get to that later. Here we see I-44 is almost entirely in Missouri and Oklahoma, with a tiny bit entering Texas, and it just barely misses Kansas. You're watching Control City Freak. This is the YouTube channel where we talk about interstate highways and the places that they're signed to go to. My name is Todd, and thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Let's talk about Westbound I-44. A lot of people have requested Interstate 70 on this channel, and don't worry, it's a-comin'. It's my favorite road. But this is the closest we'll have for a while. This pavement used to be I-70 just a few short years ago, and it is now I-44 because I-70 leaves to follow the span to Illinois. As we near the arch, we see I-55 south left exit 2.25 miles. It seems like a weirdly specific number. Also strange that we have that left exit. What's up with that? Well, on this same gantry, a few years ago, before I-70 was rerouted, the sign said I-55-1 for when this road meets I-55 at the Poplar Street Bridge. On 44, we have a good look at, the TWA Dome, or whatever they're calling it these days, former home of the St. Louis Rams. Here we have a very nice view of downtown St. Louis. It's too bad that I-70 traffic can no longer enjoy this, as it's forced to leave earlier, and there's no longer a way onto the Poplar Street Bridge. Well, here's another oddly specific mileage, 1 3/4 miles for South 55 Memphis, 44 West Tulsa, left exit. Here is what this same gantry looked like a few years ago, where it was half a mile to South 55 to 44, as 70 would be leaving this road to go on the bridge to Illinois. Same deal here, 55 south, 44 west, 1 1/4 mile, because again, the same gantry just a few years ago had the exit for North 55, East 64, 70, 40, Illinois, and for West 44, South 55, Tulsa, Memphis. Here is our junction where 55 and 44 split, with 44 being the mainline road and 55 acting as the left exit, exit 290. But again, not long ago, 55 was the mainline road and it was a right exit onto 44. The roads haven't changed, just the numbers and the signage has. Here is I-44's first exit on its traditional routes past 55. And as we meet Lindbergh Boulevard, we get another 44 Tulsa. Let's talk about 44 Tulsa. So the other interstates in St. Louis have pretty substantial control cities. We've got Indianapolis and Kansas City, Memphis, Chicago, Louisville. So it would only make sense for 44 to get kind of a major well-known city too. So we're ruling out Springfield, which would be kind of the obvious one since it's the third largest city and third largest metro in Missouri. Also, Springfield, Illinois is similarly sized, slightly more famous, and closer to St. Louis than Springfield, Missouri. So signing Springfield here could be confusing. So Tulsa seems like a good thing to fall on if MoDOT has the gumption to sign Tulsa all the way to Tulsa. Let's see if they do it. Here at exit 277. This is horrible. Okay, if we're going to switch to Springfield, I would be fine with that, because again, Springfield's pretty big, 400,000 or so metro, 150,000 in the city. But Rolla, I think I'm going to come up with a new standard here. I don't think we should ever have control cities signed on pull-through overhead signs if the city itself is not big enough to have its own pull-through sign once you're in the city. And Rolla is not. Rolla absolutely should not be the choice here. Here is Six Flags over St. Louis, outside of town. Why not Springfield or, the originally signed Tulsa? Why neither of those? Rolla, Joplin. At exits along the way, this was the biggest exit I could find. It is still 44 West, Rolla. And once we are in Rolla, of course, I have to show you the interchange on US 63 because on I-44 there are no pull-through signs because Rolla is not a big enough city to support one. And we get 44 West, Springfield. Okay, again, this is kind of weird. We have the 3 places signed, so why not next exit, then Springfield, then Tulsa? Now when we get to Springfield, when we meet US 65, suddenly 44 West Tulsa at this major intersection with 65. We're a lot closer to Tulsa, okay. All right, fine, 44 West Tulsa, sounds good. But on US 65, we're signed for 44 West Joplin. Why? This is a terrible exit sign too. I've used this exit a number of times. Why this is not an overhead sign and why it's not signed for Kansas City. This is the third largest city, third largest metro in Missouri, and this is the fastest way to get to the largest city / second largest metro in Missouri, and it's not signed. Joplin does become the de facto control city, and I can kind of understand why. It's because I-49 meets there, so we have an interstate junction. But I-49 coming to Joplin is pretty new. That's only within the last 10 years. And Joplin's been a control city for way longer than that. Here is where 44 meets 49. So we get 49 North Kansas City, Carthage. I don't know why Carthage is on there. And 44 and 49 sign for Joplin because they're going both in the general direction of Joplin. Although at this point, why not just sign it for Fort Smith and Tulsa? And soon enough, just a couple miles down the road, we get the sign for 49 South for Neosho and Fort Smith. Again, just Fort Smith is fine. And now we get Tulsa OK, which I think is pretty hilarious. So 290 miles away from the Oklahoma line, just Tulsa is fine in St. Louis. But here, 11 miles away from the border, got to put in that OK. Here we come to the last exit for 44 in Missouri, but the exit is actually for places in Kansas. This is where 44 probably should have gone into Kansas. Kansas kind of got jobbed there. Right as we come into Oklahoma, we get this sign for Will Rogers Turnpike, Tulsa, which is kind of weird because we don't have any other choice. There's no other exit for another 15-20 miles here. Welcome to Oklahoma. This used to be the world's largest McDonald's, although from what I understand, it no longer is. We get to the Tollbooth, and Oklahoma is kind of unique how they do this. They do this on the Will Rogers and the Turner Turnpikes. So you pay the full fare now, and then if you're exiting before the end of the toll road, then you get money back instead of getting a ticket and just paying what you owe. So kind of weird. Here is the first of many times that 44 will exit itself. It is now going to exit itself for Tulsa. In fact, you might want to start a drinking game here. Take a drink every time 44 exits itself in Oklahoma. You'll be falling all over yourself by the end of this video. All right, now we have 244 strangely signed for Sand Springs and Enid instead of downtown Tulsa, which is its main destination. Very, very weird. While 44 now we get West, Sapulpa, and Oklahoma City. Don't know why we don't just have Oklahoma City. Seems like that does the job. Now we are back to just Oklahoma City. No more Sapulpa. I think maybe it's because now we are in OKDOT territory. OKDOT is signing these instead of the toll authorities. So the signs make a little more sense. Although this is probably OKDOT as well, and we're still getting Sapulpa on there for whatever reason. Sapulpa continues, and now we get 244 East for downtown Tulsa. Again, why not have it the original intersection with 244 for downtown Tulsa? At this point, you would have gone all the way around Tulsa, and now you're going to come back around to go downtown? Here is our exit for Sapulpa, and 44 is now just West Turnpike, Oklahoma City, as we get on to the Turner Turnpike, which I believe has an 80 mile per hour speed limit, but I didn't actually take a picture of that here. As the turnpike ends, we end at I-35. We get this weird sign that definitely should be an overhead sign. And once we're closer to the interchange, we do get an overhead sign for 35 and 44. Here, 44 exits itself yet again. I believe that's 4 times by now. Now it's signed for Lawton and Amarillo. 44, of course, does not go to Amarillo, but it is the faster way to westbound I-40 from this point, instead of going through downtown Oklahoma City. We are now 44 Lawton, Dallas, now that 40 is going to Amarillo here. And this makes sense because 44 does loop back around to 240, which connects to 35. So this is the fastest way to get to Dallas from this intersection. Now we have 240 for Dallas and Fort Smith, almost said Fort Worth there. And 44 is going west to Lawton as it exits itself yet again. Now we go on the third of the 3 Oklahoma turnpikes and the westernmost mainline interstate turnpike in the nation, the E Bailey Turnpike. Chickasha is not a city that's big enough to support having its own overhead sign in the city. Therefore, it should not be signed on overhead signs. Here is our toll booth on the first parts of the E Bailey Turnpike. What's up with a weird straight right arrow instead of the normal angled directional arrow? Here we have another toll booth. And now that we are in Lawton, we're actually outside of the turnpike and we are being signed by OKDOT again. So that's why the sign looks a little nicer and we're getting 44 West Wichita Falls. And here we go down the turnpike once again. Wichita Falls, 45 miles away. Does this look like it's interstate standard in any way? I know all these turnpikes predate the interstate system, but they've had, 60, 70 years to catch up. Here we have a very strange toll booth right under a bridge. Welcome to Texas. So Oklahoma, like I said, the signs were bad. The roads almost seem barely standard. Here in Texas, we're in Wichita Falls, Texas, which is not a big place. And we've got an 8-lane freeway. So we've definitely gone completely the opposite way, but 8 lanes in Wichita Falls. Looks like there's a bit of traffic, but still feels like a bit of overkill to me. This is exit 1, so we could presume that we are still on 44 at this point. However, there is no exit number here, so it is safe to say 44 has ended, although there is no end 44 sign. Eastbound I-44. This is before I-44 starts. We begin eastbound 44 by going due north. All right, eastbound 44 is signed for Burke Burnett. What? And Lawton. See, this is what bugs me about Texas. I mean, just sign Lawton. Or better yet, just sign Oklahoma City. Texas, of course, sticks to the bit. We stay with Burke Burnett and Lawton. And welcome to Oklahoma. Back to 4 lanes. Oklahoma signs Lawton and Oklahoma City. I think that's the way to go. Oklahoma City is the biggest city along the way here. And we are entering the E Bailey Turnpike once again. Now we get Lawton, Chickasha, and Oklahoma City all signed. Within Lawton, again, this is just OKDOT again, so we get just Oklahoma City at this exit for Cache Road. But once we get back on the turnpike, the E Bailey Turnpike's second portion, we're now on Chickasha, Oklahoma City. And again, the pavement quality, the road sign quality seem to dissipate quite a bit, and the traffic seems to reflect that. I ranked Oklahoma really highly in my Southwest states signage. I ranked Oklahoma number 3, but I feel like I definitely have to move them after Nevada. Oklahoma did a good job on 35 and 40, but on 44, it's just been a mess. Speaking of still looks bad, whew, that sign looks bad. That sign needs to be cleaned up quite a bit. I looked at this sign on Street View from about 3 years ago, and it actually looks pretty okay. So I assume it must have been hit by some recent storm or something to make it like this. And 44 will be signed for Tulsa and Wichita throughout the Oklahoma City area, since it merges with 35 before it leaves town. And we see that again here at the interchange with I-40. 44 exits itself here, as it is wont to do. 44 will exit itself again to join up with 35. After a short time sharing pavement with I-35, it exits itself once again to start the Turner Turnpike. Wellston, Stroud, Tulsa. And we get a sign for 44 East Tulsa downtown. It's weird. Why not downtown Tulsa? They do it here. 244 downtown Tulsa. Now 44 East Joplin. Why Joplin? Why not Springfield? Springfield is 3 times bigger than Joplin with a much bigger metro area, a big university, and it's only 60, 70 miles beyond Joplin. Let's take a look at downtown Tulsa. I actually went through 244 because I don't imagine I'll make a 244 video one day. Although 244 does share with Route 66, and I might make a Route 66 video one day. Ooh, I should move on. 44 East Joplin, and 44 exits itself to go on to another turnpike, the third one, the Will Rogers Turnpike. Joplin, Tulsa is generally the way it goes with throughout the Will Rogers Turnpike. This is what all the interchanges seem to have. I thought this was pretty funny. So we see right before we leave Oklahoma, this sign for Joplin 10. But you see that blue sign in the distance, just a couple hundred yards or meters ahead. That sign says Missouri welcomes you and city limit Joplin. We just saw a sign that said Joplin 10 miles, now city limit Joplin. Yes, I know they mean the Joplin downtown is 10 miles away, but still kind of funny. And as soon as we enter Missouri, we're basically in Joplin, like we saw in that sign. So we start seeing signs for Springfield right away. Springfield 73. Here we meet I-49, south for Neosho and Fort Smith, and 4449 for Springfield, Kansas City. See, they can do 2 signs on here. There is no reason for them to have Joplin on the westbound way. They could have said Fort Smith and Tulsa, like I said. And of course we get 44 East Springfield when 49 leaves for Kansas City, and for some reason Carthage on the sign too. Springfield 58, just as you'd expect. Now in Springfield, we get 44 East St. Louis. Now isn't that wonderful? That's just what it should be. That's a great choice, and I'm sure MoDOT will stick with it, because that's definitely the right way to go. Oh no, Rolla's back. Rolla 101. No sign of St. Louis at all. Rolla. At the interchanges, we get Springfield, Rolla. We don't get St. Louis, just Rolla. Rolla, I got no beef with you or your great people, but St. Louis is what should be signed here. Once we are in Rolla, we do finally get St. Louis signed. And then we get St. Louis, 100 miles, no other cities listed. 44 East St. Louis as we meet 270. 55 North is going to downtown St. Louis and to Illinois. 44 is only going to downtown St. Louis. And now we get the east to west, which is always kind of weird, but we know why it happens. We saw that in the beginning of the episode. So Kansas City becomes the control city for I-44. And these other roads are all signed for Illinois, which I think makes sense. St. Louis always does that. They have so many highways crossing that Poplar Street Bridge. Makes sense just to sign that for Illinois and then let them sort out what the actual control cities are once they're in East St. Louis. Here is where traffic from the Poplar Street Bridge joins in with what used to be 70 and what is now 44, headed toward Kansas City and downtown St. Louis. I like this, that we get a lot of information here. 44 East ends 1 mile ahead, continue on 70 West. And then we get 44 East ends, continue on 70 West. Thanks, MoDOT, that's awesome. See, you can make good signs when you want to. And here, 44 is eventually overtaken by 70, which is taking its old lanes back from 44 and regaining them once again. All right, let's take a look at Todd's The Way It Should Be on I-44. I-44 is a tough nut to crack, but I'm going to say westbound I-44 should be Springfield, Missouri, and Tulsa, both signed on the same sign. Then Joplin, Tulsa after Springfield, then just Tulsa, then Oklahoma City, Lawton, Wichita Falls. Eastbound, I'd say skip Lawton, start with Oklahoma City, then Tulsa, then Springfield, skip Joplin, then right to St. Louis, and then that last little bit, Kansas City. All right, thank you for watching this episode of Control City Freak. It's been quite a journey here on 44. All right, I appreciate it. Please like, please subscribe. I will see you soon. Until then, keep on trucking.